Hello everyone, this is the presentation for Selenium DataSource API, which is an initiative from organization annotation in the terms of automation testing. So let me start with the presentation here. Okay, so here the concept. So let me take it one by one. So the very first thing which you need to understand is the automation testing. Basically, automation testing comes in picture when we do have many values to test on the any test case or any test scenario. So suppose we do have a scenario for the login username or password. So we can have a lot of permutation combination for the username and lot of values conditions. So like this. So this is something which we are going to test in the automation testing. So what is the use of data sources in automation testing? So you need something where you cannot hard code the values in the data source in the code basically which you're writing for Selenium or any Java related work, because hard code is another solution. So here you need some kind of data sources for them. So data sources can be any Excel sheet, any CSV file, any property file, any XML file, any database, anything. It can be anything. Don't worry about it. So what this what is the problem now? Now the problem with the data sources, like nowadays we do have many data sources like Excel sheets, CSV files, after that property files, then databases. So we do have many data sources out there in world right now. So if you're writing something in your code, you have to write um, different code for this different data sources if you want to use these data sources in your test case, in your architecture, in your test case architecture framework. So the problem with these data sources, like suppose you do have many data sources right now, and you have to write different code for them, and then if you want to add some kind of feature with these data sources to reduce the job, reduce the work, so you have to write again code for different data sources. So what this DataSource API do for you, it gives you predefined functions which you can use it in your work effectively, efficiently, like in UFT. Let me give an example of automation, so one automation tool which is known as UFT, Unified Functional Testing. In that we do have something called data table, where you can import your data tables and you can use it throughout entire framework or architecture which is running UFT. So this is some kind of workaround this data source API providing you for your automation testing. So basically, what is the basic architecture behind this? So basic architecture is something very easy basically. So it basically import the data sources. So while importing, it basically take all kind of values, properties related to your data sources to a data table object. So this data table object is the important one here. So in this data table object, it basically take your structured data in the value of tuples. So tuples are the like data tables, they are created from tuples, and tuples they are created from the columns values. So it's a very simple concept. And when the data table is in there in the memory for your automation testing, you can use it anywhere in your entire framework. So some such kind of flexibility people have given, the developers have given for the data table objects here. And once the work is done, you can export the entire data source to different data sources formats like Excel sheets, CSV file, and other DSs like database is also available here, XMLs. So in our next videos, I will explain you that how we can use these data tables for different scenarios and different works in our API. Okay, so the next thing is, okay, so what are the features it basically providing you? So many features. So in next videos we'll learn about it. So the features are something important. Features are merging, splitting, filtering, joining. Then it can easily handle the XLS file, CSV file, properties file. So these files are known as the intrinsic files, like the basic logic for these files, interpretation, compilation is there inside the code. But sometimes what happened, we do have some user defined formats. So these formats you can define using some methods. We'll discuss in the videos later, in our tutorials. So for this extrinsic file format, you can define all the file definitions through which you can easily interact. You can easily interact the data table, and you can easily import these extrinsic data sources into the data table, and you can easily access these data sources to the entire framework. So this is something which this STS will provide you. So let me give an example with the Eclipse. So let me create you one normal basic project here. Okay, STS test. Suppose I'm creating this project here, Eclipse, and let me just import the Selenium data sources jar file. So for downloading it, you have to go to the annotation.org.in site. So here in the annotation website, you have to go to the product. Here you can easily go to the site for the Selenium data source. Oops. Okay, it's taking some time, so don't worry. So go to the download tab. So just give your email ID and you can start your download. So I have already downloaded my Selenium data source solution here. So let me just import the solution. So here I need to create a library. I'm creating a user library here because in our next tutorials it will be useful for us. So here I have included all my jars, and then to click on OK and finish. So now my Selenium data source API is included in this. So let me create one class here. So here we have to create normal object for data table class. So data table is equal to new data table. Okay. So it is automatically import my annotation data table classes here, and then you simply import your data table. It's very easy. So the sheet, the path of the sheet. So let me just show you what is my data source here. So I've already told you data source can be anything. So data source is, yes, So suppose this is my DataSource test, which contain our ID, name, group, and suppose add something like like company, like Accenture, and then TCS, and then just save it. Let me take the entire part for this. It's a special character issue, so so this is the path of my data source here. Then this data source is imported, please. So let me run this. The code is complete. There's no exception. Everything's working fine. So let me just show you how many rows are there in this data table. So data table, this is the object, and then get. Sorry. Then get row count. This is the method through which you can easily get what is the row count for a data table. So let me just show you. So the count is 2. Here you can see. So total rows in data source. And the next thing, how can we get the values? It's a very easy thing, because once you write the code, definitely you can easily get it. So for int I is equal to 1, I should be less than equal to data table dot get row count, and then make an increment in this. Just a easy thing to do. And then you have to set the data table dot set row index. Okay, with the I, and then you can get all the index. Like I have put the name, suppose. Sorry, data table. Get value of your column. So now let me just run this code. So yeah, we do have Adam and Paul in this, and in my data source I do have Adam and Paul. So let's suppose I want to get the company also. Yeah, so let me just run this code. Yeah, we get this. So Adams is in the Accenture and Paul is in the TCS. It's a very easy to interact with this data table API. So in our next tutorials, we will understand that how we're going to use these Selenium DataSource API for our entire automation framework, and how we can just use these different tables in different classes. Okay. Thank you for this. Thank you very much.